Good morning once again from Bentley Station. It's just about 9:21 in the morning, which means that I am off on a collection today, and I'm going to Nottinghamshire to collect a Mercedes Vito van from a little town called Hucknall, just to the north of Nottingham. I've never been there before. Hopefully there'll be something to see along the way. So my name's Chris, welcome to Trade Plate Travels. Thank you for joining me.
London Waterloo. The next station is Farnham.
That's message. So she would want where do we come in actually?
Just past 10:30, got into London Waterloo, and I have about an hour to spend in London. My train leaves St Pancras at 10:35, takes me straight to Nottingham, and at Nottingham I'll have one more train to catch, which is just a short train journey, I think, to Hucknall, which is my final station of the day. If you're ever in St Pancras, come up to the mezzanine floor, right to the end of the station, beneath the clock that you'll see at the end of the station, and have a look at this fantastic sculpture. There's so much detail in it down here. I can't really tell you an awful lot about the sculpture or who made it. There's the artist's signature, Paul Day. But there is a lot of narrative and a lot of detail around here. It's just quite a fascinating thing to look at. Amazing work of art. A lot of these scenes are recreating, a lot of this is recreating scenes from history as well. So you've got wartime underground scenes here. Don't know what's going on with those two, but she seems more interested in her phone. It's kind of like almost like a reflection in a pair of sunglasses here. And then right in front of the sculpture, you have the Eurostar trains, ready to head off to the continent. Well, we arrived at Nottingham a little bit late, but not to worry, I've got about 10 minutes till my train leaves, and then just a short train ride. I've got a 13:25 train that will take me to, where am I going? Hucknall, that's it. Yeah, just 15 minutes on the train out of Nottingham to Hucknall, and then hopefully I will see you behind the wheel of a vehicle. Well, you join me behind the wheel of a Mercedes Vito. We've bought the vehicle and I've just left Hucknall having collected it, and I thought we'd come and have a look at Newstead Abbey, a place that I had never heard of before, and I hope it will be an interesting place to look around. Well, here we are, the sun has come out again. We are at the ancestral home of Lord Byron, Newstead Abbey. Now, I don't know much about poetry, but I have obviously heard of Lord Byron, otherwise known as George Gordon Byron, the 6th Baron Byron. So Lord Byron apparently didn't actually live here for any real extended period of time. This was his ancestral home. Both he and his mother lived here at various points in their lives. Here we have a memorial to Lord Byron's dog, whose name was Boatswain. He was a Newfoundland dog, and Lord Byron was an animal lover. And when Boatswain sadly died of rabies in 1808, he commissioned this memorial to Boatswain, which remains here to this day. And apparently in his will a few years later, Lord Byron asked to be buried next to Boatswain here at Newstead Abbey. But in the end that didn't happen. Lord Byron sold the property before then and he's buried elsewhere. So the history of this place actually dates back to the 1100s, when it started off as an Augustinian monastery, and with the dissolution of the monasteries in the 1500s, of course it all came to a halt and was converted to a countryside home. Newstead Abbey is open to have tours. You can go and look around the house itself. It's not open today, so I won't be able to do that. What I've done is I've paid £6, I think it was, to pay for parking, and after you've paid that you can just freely walk around the gardens and the grounds and just enjoy the peace and quiet. This is a lovely place to be. So this rather grand area where we are now is the Rose Garden. There are lots of different little areas to explore here. But I looked on the map at where I was going, saw this place was just down the road from where I collected the vehicle, and I thought, why not come and have a look around? And what a nice afternoon to do so. So Lord Byron himself, he only lived here for a relatively short time really. He was living here around 1808, I believe, at the time when his dog Boatswain died, who we mentioned earlier. And after that, I believe he went travelling in Europe. And not too many years after that, around about 1812, 1813, 1814, I'll put the date up on the screen if I can find it more accurate date, but he was trying to sell the house, basically. And by the time he died, the house had gone, and hence why he's not actually buried here next to his dog. I can hear the rush of water coming from somewhere. There's lots of little pathways and exciting nooks and crannies to explore. Oh, here we go. So this is the Garden Lake, and you can just see the house and over there in the distance. Here's what I was hearing earlier, right at the end of the Garden Lake. This is actually just a really nice place to roam around. You can pay the entrance fee just to park in the grounds, and then you can freely wander around the gardens. There are people here walking their dogs, just relaxing, having a nice afternoon. Can you see the castle-like structure on the other side of the lake there? I believe that that was built by the 5th Baron Byron, who used to like to stage glamorous mock navy battles on the lake, and that was used as a kind of vantage point to do that. Now I believe he was the owner of the estate before Lord Byron the poet, and sadly the 5th Baron Byron died without any living children or grandchildren, and no living heirs, so he left the estate to George Gordon Byron, who we know as Lord Byron the poet, and he was his great nephew. Well, it's 10 to 5 now. The car park actually closes here in about less than half an hour, so I've definitely made the most of my time here this afternoon, but I've also just realised I can't remember exactly how far it is that I have to drive back to West Sussex, but I do of course need to remember that I have a long journey back, so I had better head off. But I hope you've enjoyed our walk around Newstead Abbey. I certainly have. I also haven't properly shown you the vehicle we've collected today, have I? Well, here it is. It's a late 2017, early 2018. I'm looking right at it and I can't think what it is. It is a late 2017, early 18 Mercedes-Benz Vito van. It's a crew cab, so it's got back seats, slightly smaller load area as a result compared to a standard van. Well, let me just show you quickly inside as well. So there you go, you've got rear seats in here, sliding doors either side. 54,000, well, just under 54,000 miles this van has done. I've only ever driven one of these before, which you may have seen in a previous video. I delivered one of these vans to Wales, to a place near Nuckless Viaduct. That one was an automatic, this one's a 6-speed manual. So yes, all I've done so far is drive it down the road here to Newstead Abbey, but I now have a 176 mile journey back home, so plenty more opportunity to get a bit more used to driving this van. Hopefully a good journey, and we'll catch up a little bit later. A bite to eat at a pub just off the M1. What's the time? Should wear a watch, shouldn't I? Instead of just relying on looking at my phone every time. It's almost exactly 7 o'clock. So yeah, once again, let's head off. Hello again, I got back okay, as you can see. The next day I didn't do any driving, so I kept the van at home for a day, and now I've come back into TMC the following morning. Please do give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed the video, and hopefully see you again soon for some more random travels around the UK. Thank you for joining me.